Okay, so we've got a lot to get through here in this 45-minute video. The reason that it's 45 minutes is that I did a little poll on Skyrim Requiem Reddit, and it looks like the majority of people are kind of interested when asked to choose between the difference of, say, a long video in which nothing is cut out, where you just show everything no matter what it is and just have a running commentary throughout the entire thing. I don't think not too many people were into that. On the flip side, a video that only has the highlights, so something that's 15 to 30 minutes, was too short, I guess. People kind of want to see something that is in between, somewhere in the middle. And by the way, I only kept that little clip there with the trees just to piss off Salty Shanty because he's jealous. No. So last episode, if you didn't see it, I got a bunch of mage robes. I'm going to be a battle mage, theoretically, but I went to get some mage robes so I could do some magicking without sucking too bad. And I guess I just leveled up to level 4 there.
Good day.
Which means that my immediate thought when that happened was I have to get back to Whiterun, to the companions, to level up heavy armor. So this video might just fast forward to Whiterun. I can't remember. Unless I kill a stupid wolf here. Yeah, I do. In previous videos, I think that I've sort of said this over and over and over again. I have the option. I don't have the option selected in the Requiem MCM menu to make it so that enemies are steadfast and fearless. When they start to lose health and they feel like they're losing a fight, they'll run away like this fucking stupid wolf. In general, I think it's kind of realistic, but it's also super, super dumb to chase a wolf across Tamriel. I managed to kill the thing here, but sometimes they get away and it's kind of stupid. I don't know. I don't know what... I haven't decided what to pick there. I could make it so that enemies continue to fight to their last breath, which makes it easier for me. But I mean, I run away like a coward if I'm dying, so I don't know. I kind of feel like I'm giving it a bit of a chance. So I'm sure this happened to you before, but have you ever had a plan and then you completely changed that plan because you were just going through the motions and not thinking, well, this is what happened to me here. So I leveled up,
have you seen that shrine of Asura?
which meant that I had to go and spend all my training on heavy armor so that I could officially get the points and then spend another 5 points on heavy armor. But instead I went to this
magic is for the... Of course there is
stupid tavern and even paid for accommodations before realizing I have to go to get the training, and I already have a free bed at the companion, so this was pretty dumb. At this point, right here, this exact moment, I'm realizing my mistake and I want to cancel this level up, but I'm fucked. You can't cancel it. It's too late. Once this little thing's popped up, you can't escape it. So you sort of accept losing the 5 training points, or you reload. And I think 5 training points are critical at this point in the game. Critical. So you just have to accept your losses and reload. And of course I'll save everybody the agony of that bullshit run back to Whiterun. But you do get to see how sweet the the load looks in the far distant objects. Dying to load makes everything look really sweet in the distance until it crashes, but hopefully that won't happen for a while. One interesting thing about dying to load, by the way, I posted this in Reddit/Skyrim mods, is I had something like a 52 megabyte save file, which I guess is a little on the large side. I deactivated dying to load because I was crashing to desktop.
Says that I have the
It was
strength.
probably
I'll
just
show
some
you what I
NIF
can about
problem.
protecting yourself.
I don't know which one it is. I don't really know how to fix that problem, so I just removed the entire mod. 17 megabytes. 17 megabytes disappeared from my save file. That's how much dying to load bakes data into your save. I mean, it's not corrupt data, it's a ton of data that it has to save. So, you know, maybe note to people who are using that, your long distance objects look amazing, but that is a fuckload of data
Some
in
people
your
don't
save
think
file.
I'm smart. Those people. I'll show you what I can about protecting yourself.
So I didn't plan this at all. I don't know how I managed this, but I got heavy armor 25 pretty early in the game, and that's going to allow me to use the combat casting perk. I got all excited about this, so my first thought was I gotta go and get all that heavy armor stuff I left back in Helgen. Pretty much the whole beginning of this character is me running to Helgen, running back to Whiterun, running to Helgen, running back to Whiterun. It's kind of crazy.
The latest recruit, right?
See, I remembered
Is that right?
that I could sleep here. In case you haven't seen that interface before, that's just an updated version of the no boring sleep wait menu that has been on Nexus forever, but they did a new update. So, I don't know. I don't know if it's any less boring than any other sleep wait menu. The title's a little weird, but I kind of like it. What I think would be really cool, if anybody's seen the Witcher 3 mods, where, you know how he does meditation to pass the time? Some of those mods, when Geralt is meditating, it does this whole like cinematic cutscene of the sun going up and down, and that would be really neat for Elder Scrolls. So I'm stopping here because I'm kind of like, what the fuck is going on with the stamina problem? And so sure enough, vegetable soup tops me up. As far as I remember, I don't think I made any more vegetable soup. That's got to be the next thing I do at the very beginning of the next video. Soup crafting is one of those things in Requiem I can never get used to. I don't know any of the recipes. Or I think basically, like, if you're a beast race, you'd get the bestial stew. So if I recall correctly, you get some raw beef. You need a carrot, salt, and something else like a cabbage, or anyway, salmon. It's salmon. It's a bit of a weird thing because you don't just need the beef. You need the salmon, the carrot, and the salt. So it's fairly easy to acquire those ingredients. But as a Breton, I can't eat that shit, so I need to eat vegetable soup. I think I can eat beef stew, which is similar. But so there's a bunch of soups and stews that provide some huge buffs to stamina. So stamina management is the whole key to Requiem, and especially with a heavy armor character. So the next little part of this video is me trying to figure out how to manage my magicka with all this heavy armor now, because the casting penalties, despite the fact that I've got this 25 armor, or level 25 heavy armor perk for combat casting, it's still brutal. So I have to find the right balance of what I can wear and what I can't. I can't wear the full heavy armor. I can't cast anything. But I can see how attractive it would be to use normal melee weapons here. Anyway, so me waiting there was just because I cast the alteration mage armor, and I was just waiting for some of my magic to come back. Yeah, that didn't go very well.
Your death brings me
I wasn't too concerned here, to be honest. I mean, obviously I had to flee, but I was pretty amazed that I took absolutely no damage there. It made me kind of laugh. There's this really persistent two-handed woman here. Like, really persistent. This is frustrating. I keep trying to cast the wolf, but I can't. Like, I just don't have the magicka at all. She's really devastating me there, too. You gotta admit, she's persistent. So at this point I realized that I have a stave, and that maybe I should be using it. So I actually just watched a video from Noob in Disguise, aka Magica Carp, who puts out some videos on Requiem, some pretty impressive videos actually. Who's saying that you can kind of burst fire the staves too, and that they'll last much longer. But the problem with that is that I kind of tend to spaz. So no burst fire, I'm just straight up spazzing here. I think it's remarkable. I take no damage in this hole there. Every single time. Like I am using, okay, so I am using the move attack, or the mod attack commitment. It was a while back, I think it was last year, somebody finally created a mod where momentum counts for something in combat. So in Skyrim, for the longest time, enemies could track you dynamically regardless of the physics of real life. So if, say for instance, we're just talking about a punch, like a fight in the UFC or mixed martial arts, and you're thinking of, imagine this fight, and somebody winds up for a punch and they throw that punch with their fullest energy, they can't stop that momentum in the middle of their punch as a guy parries or sidesteps or ducks. They can't stop that momentum and suddenly continue that punch in the same direction that the person sidestepped. That's just basic physics. That's why a lot of guys, when they're fighting, they'll wait for the jab and the cross or whatever, and they'll wait for the 1-2, and then they'll do the counter, because the fighter has their momentum moving forward, and the counter puncher will wait and and use not only the momentum against them, but the opportunity that all of their energy is moving in one direction, and they can attack. So it made no sense that this wouldn't be applied to things like, you know, somebody swinging a two-handed sword at you, that they could suddenly track your dodge and catch you no matter where you were. So, I mean, the mod is basically, at this point, it's an essential mod. If you don't use it, then basically your Skyrim is bugged, because they shouldn't be able to hit you and track you in midair when they're taking a momentum swing that would otherwise miss. But I don't know. Honestly, I don't know how many people know about that. I don't know if I think that's been built into some of the more popular non-Requiem mods, like Wildcat. The combat overhaul and vigor is very popular, and a few of the others have got. I think they've got permission now to use that tweak. I don't think, to my knowledge, I don't think that Requiem has that, because I could be wrong. Just let me know if I'm wrong, but anyway, so that was pretty neat. I just stumbled upon some guy with a ton of loot there, but I think as I find out a little bit later, I don't have the first perk in the speech tree, so all this stuff that I'm selling, I'm not getting a lot of value for it, and I kind of run out of money at the end of this video, which is something that I really, really, really need some advice about, because I'm currently broke and I've got a real dilemma, but I'll save that for the end. I don't know, I've watched other videos where guys they seem to have a ton of money, and maybe it's because I didn't start my Alchemy early enough, but just money is just a huge issue in this playthrough. And actually that's why, even though I think I played this like 24 hours ago, I didn't do any more playing, because I actually can't continue. I need some advice here on how to proceed, because everything was going pretty good basically in this whole playthrough up until the very end, where I realized that I can't get any value for the items, because the shop vendors just rip you off. They just... Wait, does that say 1,000 for that sword, or... I got a tiny screen in front of me here because I'm still in the video editing preview mode, but I might go back and get that. Thing is, Requiem doesn't have fast travel allowed. I mean, I could turn it off, I guess. You gotta, when you remember that you had something that you didn't loot, you want to go back for it, you gotta hike back a ways. I mean, that's the other thing. I need a horse, and at the end of this video, I'm completely and utterly broke. So I'm 6,000 gold away from getting a horse. I don't know. Maybe I need to look at my load order too. See what's going on. Maybe something's messing with my load order, because I shouldn't be that broke. So at this point, anyway, so I put on the Mage hood, which makes way more sense, because now the Mage hood has the ability to maintain your concentration while running, which means your Magico will replenish a little bit better. I think that's what it means. Because I think if you don't have that Mage hood on, you get a debuff when you're moving around to your Magica. At any rate, I really tweaked and played around with it quite a bit. But so here was the test. Those 3 bandits that I took out a few minutes ago, it didn't go all that well, but I just did a little bit of an equipment tweak, and these 2 bandits here, they're pretty easy to outmaneuver, and there's a bridge down, so if I'm not happy with how this fight goes, then I can always bail. And so this fight pretty much killed me within seconds, because my wolf gets taken down on the first strike. That means that this bandit here is going to one-shot me. So I'm trying to kite them through the trap. And, you know, one bites it and the other one makes it through. He's actually running really fast. So basically a shout out to Salty Shanty again here for this tip. If you open the console after it loads, you see how the bandit unrealistically spawned in front of me, despite the fact that I clearly beat him to the door. That's just a glitch in the game engine. In old games like Diablo 1, we'd call that stair jumping. You get fucking attacked by the AI while your game is still loading. Like, that was just classic Diablo 1 horseshit. Your game would be loading. Enemies would be attacking you, and when you finally loaded, you'd have a red screen because you'd be fucking dead. Actually, I remember there was a Diablo 2 character that happened to, and he was like top of the ladder. We're talking a crazy amount of years ago, maybe 15 years ago, but he was like level 92 barbarian, which was just insane because it was pre-expansion pack. You know, it's the kind of guy that would have to put 1,000 friggin' hours in on one character. Anyway, so he was definitely top of the ladder, like the number one guy on the ladder. And I'm not sure where I'm going back. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go leave that guy. Anyway, so he clicked the wrong waypoint. He clicked the wrong waypoint from Act 1 to Act 5, like not Act 5, Act 4, because there was no Act 5 yet. And he spawned in a dungeon that was known to have monsters around the waypoint. And by the time the loading screen was done, he was dead. And he must have had like 800 hit points. So, I mean, any game developer that makes a game where a loading screen can take you out is fucked. That's just shit. That's shit game development. I mean, obviously Skyrim and Diablo are outstanding games by outstanding game developers. I'm just saying that design flaw is scalding garbage. That should never happen. You should never have a situation where a loading screen leads you into a situation like that. There should always be a gigantic buffer around loading screens where you can't have any enemies attack you. Anyway, that's a bit of a unnecessary rant, I guess, but I guess the long and short of that story is, if you press the little tilde key that brings up the console as soon as your load screen is done, then you can really save yourself a lot of trouble. Like in that situation, there's a chance that if I hadn't done that guy at the door would have killed me in one shot with his two-handed weapon. I mean, it depends on your hardware too, right? Like, before I updated my computer, my loading screens were a lot longer, and I think that I was in greater danger of being stair jumped at doorways. Now I've got like my computer is fairly new, and I put my Skyrim on a SSD drive, so my load times are really pretty fast. I mean, I don't think my load times are ever longer than 5 seconds. So this is a really funny scene. I just want you to watch this for a second. He just stole my XP. That guy just jumped in and stole my XP. Not really, but you know, like the old days. In a lot of games, it's the guy who gets the killing blow that gets the experience points. So that would be really bad form in a multiplayer game. You fight a monster. You fight a monster for like 30 seconds there, and another guy comes in and boop. I keep forgetting that you can bash these locks open. I never remember that. It's something I should actually remember, because I kind of picked up on that phenomenon fairly quickly in Dragon Age, which I was playing in June. You come up to all these lock chests, couldn't open them if you weren't, oh, what do you call it? Oh man, now I'm forgetting the character class. Like basically a rogue. So you could just bash the lock. These wolves look really super buggy. I don't know, do they look buggy to you? Like they're running around, spazzing around, they're moving at a crazy, insane running speed. Look at them. You thought I wasn't ready for bandits? Here I'm not even ready for wolves. Honestly, I mean, part of me knows that I have easier choices. The easier choices are, you know, I have my heavy armor. I could kill these wolves in one shot, probably, with a decent weapon. That's a total option. I probably would have no chance of getting killed. But I'm trying to level up. Well, I'm trying to level up heavy armor by getting hit. That hasn't happened yet, but I'm trying to level up destruction. And I guess that was the trade-off that was recommended to me. Was, you know, you could go through this sort of agonizing slow process, but it will level up your destruction in the early game. Or you could, you know, you could train. You could go faster in the earlier game by using a weapon, but then your destruction will be lagged behind. So I guess it's just the choice you have to make. And the other option here is I could take all this heavy armor off, put the mage robes back on, you know, use mage armor, and just try not to get hit, and I'd probably be fine. You know, I'd be able to move faster, have way more magicka. I could have 100% uptime on my wolf, like 100% uptime. Anyway, this scene looks way worse than it was. Like, I don't think at this point I was really even scared. Although, I mean, it looks like I almost died, but I wasn't panicking. I didn't get panicked at all. Actually, in the fight with the 3 bandits, I felt like there was a chance of dying there. With the wolf here, if anything, it just felt like the wolf got a couple lucky shots in. Although officially, this was the closest I came to death so far. I don't know, I just got sloppy and lazy. I actually wanted to get hit a couple times there to see what the damage was, and I was a little bit surprised because it was a lot heftier than I thought it would be. I had mage armor up. I have a bunch of heavy armor items on, and I still got hurt pretty bad there. Anyway, this early game in Requiem is just so awful and difficult if you don't know how to metagame properly. And I mean, it's around this time here. I think you've noticed I haven't really collected any ingredients. It's around this time that I'm beginning to think about it. I'm beginning to think about the possibility, or not even the possibility, the necessity of doing alchemy. Because how else, you know, I mean, there are other ways. Obviously, there are some very talented YouTubers who have demonstrated how they can play Requiem without Alchemy and do just fine. I think the easiest example of that is Samir Please, who did a light armor, like barbarian, two-handed orc, and he seemed to level up pretty fast with no alchemy at all. But I mean, two-handed, if you know how to play a two-handed character, that is a really fast play style. You run in and you just maul everything. If you got the timing down, you're quick on your feet, don't get hit. He had a really interesting character, actually. I don't know if you've watched his Requiem playthrough. Maybe I can try to find a link and post it up. But he played, like, he had a Dead is Dead character that he had going for months, and he died in the most frustrating way. He died to a trap. And I think there were a couple people that were saying, you know, dying to a trap, that's just part of the risk. But I thought that was disappointing. I thought it was kind of dumb. I didn't think it was very realistic to die that way. I think that's kind of cheap. I guess everybody kind of, if you're playing a Dead is Dead character, you kind of want a glorious death. And I can think of a few Dead is Dead playthroughs I've watched where it was the person I've been watching has had an anything but glorious death. Like, so there was that one where Samir Please got taken out by a trap, one-shotted, which was really surprising because his character was super badass, and he had the ethereal shout, which I just learned in my last playthrough on vanilla, was so OP. Like with ethereal shout, if you can get that shout and you can get all the the Thum cooldown, so you go in the speech tree, you get the Thum cooldown, you get there's an amulet that gives you the Thum cooldown. You basically can have almost 100% uptime on the ethereal shout. It's ridiculous, actually. So yeah, it was surprising to see him die. But then like Salty Shanty right now, he's got a super badass like heavy armor character who's got who's dual wielding. But I mean, he had like a very similar character a couple months back that was like a sorted board. I thought there's no way that character's gonna die, and he got one-shotted by a fireball, like absolutely one-shotted. So it can happen, I guess. You know, just when you think a character is just invincible. I mean, he's probably not gonna die. I'm not saying that, but
Skjor says that I have
you
the
never know
strength
what can
of
happen in this game.
I'll show you what I can about protecting yourself.
All right, so we've reached the point here where I've run out of money, basically. And this is the part where I guess I really need help and advice, because, you know, I feel a little bit bad now, even though I said that I didn't feel bad, but I don't remember herbalism. Honestly, I don't remember herbalism. Is that like a 1.94 edition, or I just don't remember it? Anyway, so I decided to get Alchemy, but point is, ran out of money, and I had that 2,500 gold or whatever I got with Skyrim on down alternate start, and that pretty much paid for all my heavy armor training. So I haven't legit earned a lot of my training. Like, I haven't legit got to where I am so far. I feel like I've kind of been helped by the alternate start. I mean, I've had to work a little bit, right? But now I'm at the point where I literally have to work. So that's why I'm out here searching for ingredients now. Because I honestly, if I can't take out bandits, or I can, but not very easily. If I can't take out bandits, I'm having trouble with wolves even, except for this one. The only thing I can go after is like wolves and mud crabs and alchemy. I honestly don't. If you have any other idea, I'd like to hear it. Because I don't have any idea. The other thing is I might just have to do the old Oblivion tactic. What I used to do in Oblivion when I couldn't find money. And maybe this because I never became good at Oblivion, but what I used to do is, trust me, it was painful. It was painful, but I used to get, try to find a lot of featherweight potions and then just go into dungeons and carry everything the fuck out, like everything. I would haul everything back to the Imperial City and sell it. But I don't think gold had a carry weight, so it wasn't an issue. But yeah, I used to be broke a lot in Oblivion because you'd go and get that. Yeah, you go get that heavy armor training from that dude who was in the Imperial City shop. I can't remember what his name might be now, but he'd give you the heavy armor training. And I hauled everything out and sold it to him. But this is so depressing because I don't know, the next 10 minutes here before the video ends is me collecting ingredients, making potions, and then realizing that my potions are worthless. Like, because I don't have any perks in speech, and Arcadia doesn't give a shit. Like, stamina potions are literally worthless. They're actually not even worth a gold. So the only reason I could sell them is to hope, just to hope to get a speech bonus off it. Other than that, though, it's a waste. I thought about getting that Nern route to get because it's worth 100 gold. It's probably on the resale value is like 14, but anyway, I know there's some more mud crabs around this tower here. Yeah, so what that's called is a crash. In a way, I wasn't too upset because it wasn't a crash to desktop. It was, what do you call it? It was a runtime error. So you know your Windows does a little pop-up and it says runtime error. Don't know what it is, don't know why. I mean, I've heard in the past that it's due to some sort of Dawn Guard glitch, but yeah, it was a runtime error. So it was essentially a crash to desktop because your game freezes, even though you don't crash the desktop, the game is done at that point. Anyway, I have this bug, I don't know if anybody else does, but if your game saves while you're in a state of crouching, you're stuck in that animation, and the game doesn't think you're crouching anymore, it thinks you're standing, so it treats you as though you're standing. And the only way I found around that is to either use an object like, say, a forge or something, or a chair. That'll fix the animation. But if you're out in the wilderness like I was there, you're fucking screwed. So I downloaded this little mod called Simple Actions. It's actually a great little mod. Absolutely no issues with it whatsoever. It'll let you, and it could even be immersive. Like, it'll let you lie down, sit down, whatever you want, really. And yes, if you're stuck in that broken animation, you can just use that. That's basically all I use the mod for, because I'm not really gonna do a bunch of stuff where I sit around. I have done that in the past, though. If you're playing, let's just say you're playing a hunter or something like Frostfall, you want to sit around the campfire, or you want to chill out and take the game really slow. I mean, then the mod is pretty good for that too. There's also the option where you can just lie right back and just kind of like hang out. So if you have a camping mod, again like Campfire, think Campfire actually has that built in. So I don't know if simple actions, I don't even know if you need that, but in either case, you don't have to be in the tent. You can just like lie down beside the fire. But ain't nobody got time for that in a video let's play.
I've got a recipe for venison stew.
Man, I thought this video was actually, I had a memory of it being more interesting than it is. It's obviously, it's not that fun, but really I'm just trying to figure out what I need to do next. I remember at this point that you gotta eat one of everything you find in order to at least learn the first property. So I had to lose a bunch of ingredients doing that shit. And then I go and make a bunch of random potions. So I only had healing, spell shield, and stamina. And if I recall correctly, spell shield is the only potion that's worth anything. And I think it's worth like 3 gold. Stamina is completely worthless. Healing is pretty much worthless as well. So yeah, I obviously have to figure out more valuable form of alchemy. I mean, I know it's just a matter of going out and picking some more stuff, but I think I need to get that first speech perk. I don't know if I'm wrong, but I found this really weird, this perspective here, because I feel like I'm a child in first person while looking at Arcadia, but then when I go into the third person perspective, I don't. There's no way my eyes should be looking at the bugs there. I don't understand.
Come back in. Pardon me, but
So what do I have here?
You're
Like
an alchemist,
160 gold, right? 160. So I sell a bunch of these for nothing. And okay, so here's the point. I level up here, right? Get to level 7, and I've just sold all my valuable potions, and I've only got up to 217 gold, which is fucking it's garbage, right? I can't even buy 1 level of training for that, and I need 4 more before I can level up, and then I need 5 more after that. So so at this point I thought, okay, well, why don't I buy a bunch of alchemy ingredients and I'll just sell her back some potions. So this was nothing but a waste of 200 gold. This right here, this what I'm doing here, is called a waste of 200 gold. I don't feel too bad about it. I mean, what else was I going to spend 200 gold on? Nothing, right? Literally nothing. But I mean, I don't know, I do have to make some vegetable soups after this, but I think I clean myself out here. I just take all the 4 gold items.
Mm-hmm.
And of course I forget to eat them.
You'll find. Tonics, salves, poultices, and potions.
So I
on the
mean,
shelves.
healing
to your
and
heart's
rigidity,
content.
that's all I got for like 200 gold. And I mean, at this point I think I just made some potions so that I could potentially level up some alchemy, but I mean, even that's a waste, right? Because I don't want to get too much on the next level, or when I level up I'll skip 2 levels and then I won't get those 5 extra training points. Okay, so here's the debate. Here is the ultimate question. What do I do now? So I could level up, lose those 4
so
training
you're an
points,
alchemist, then.
bite the bullet, get the speech perk, sell some of my potions for more money, and then go do the alchemy thing. Boom. Now I'm earning more money from my alchemy. Or I could grind it out, try to make more money, pay for those 4 extra points. That could be hard. It might be better to go treasure hunting. But doing all that, I could risk leveling up again to 8, and then that was all worthless because I'll miss those 4 points anyway. I just don't know what to do. I mean, I'm leaning towards leveling up
What do you need?
speechcraft right now,
So you're
losing those
interested in
4
my
extra training
potions and
points,
ingredients?
and just getting on with my life. But I couldn't decide, so I just left it. I haven't continued to play this character at this point. I don't know. So let's hear the vote. Should we level up? Level up and get the speech perk, or continue to grind out some more gold to pay for the 4 extra levels? I don't know. Or maybe I, instead of the expensive heavy armor stuff, I go and pay for some other training. I don't know. So just let me know what I should do, or what you think, or what you would do in this situation, and if I get some good feedback, then I'll try to implement that in the next video. Anyway, I appreciate any feedback as always. Thanks for watching.